Hey Siri, how do I stop AI taking over my life? Hey Siri, is it too late to learn machine learning at 35? Will my career die? How to stay relevant without becoming the next tech pro? How can I make sure that I don't have to do anything and I'm still ahead of the curve? Hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri. And that's where it all started. That took me down a rabbit hole of research, reading books, and some more research, clueless moments, some panic attacks and existential crisis. And I realized that I need a complete reboot of my human software before AI takes over not only my job and career, but my brain as well. According to World Economic Forum report, 90 million jobs will be gone by 2030. Thanks to AI disruption, geopolitical chaos, green transition, inflation, and other buffet of existential crisis. Don't panic yet. There's a silver lining. 170 million jobs will also be created thanks to AI. Until we zoom in a bit and see that majority of these jobs are inclined in sectors like tech and AI, or probably require skills which I don't have an edge yet. I don't plan to become the next AI engineer or machine learning specialist. So the question that is actually eating me alive is, how do I make sure that I'm not replaced by another machine?
As I read more, I realized the impact of AI is not just on jobs, but on the way we think, learn, work, and even consume information. It is huge. AI is rewiring how we operate from every damn angle. And to adapt to that, we need a bigger plan than just learning a new skill or changing careers. So I created an entire series distributed in 4 phases so we can figure this out together. But here's the thing, you just cannot install any update on a broken system. So before I could start my reinvention new me journey, fixing my career, learning new skills, I had to fix 3 major mental blockers that would fail every plan I made. For a long time, I assumed that simply having the thought of wanting to change or reinvent myself was enough. But it's not. My brain, for some reason, loves stability, predictability, and comfort zone too much. And psychologists call this problem of mine status quo bias. Basically, when your brain wants to stay in autopilot mode, where whenever we try to do something new, something different, our brains will resist that change because it's uncomfortable, it's painful. In fact, they are so smart that they will trick you into thinking that your current bad situation is way better than the unknown future. Now I understand the thoughts that my brain is serving me. I don't even like to change my coffee plan that I have been drinking for long, and now if you ask me to change my entire career path, well, that's a bit too much. So I tricked my brain the way it tricks me so that I can scare it into action. Let me show you how. Hey, do you want to learn this new course? I just found it online. This might really help us to stay relevant in the future. Nah, I'm good. You're right. Let's not change. Let's keep pretending that this version of our life is working. Maybe learning something new might lead to better work, more opportunities, more joy. But you're right. We don't know that for sure. That's unknown. What if we waste time and still stay stuck? Actually, what if we don't try and nothing ever changes? And we keep living the same life without any progress?
Stuck in this loop of existential dread. 5 years from now, still Googling. Still waiting for some magical clarity in life that never arrives. And yeah, maybe AI will take over our job and skills forever.
Hey, okay, let's do it. But just for 30 minutes, okay?
And that's the easiest way to scare your brain into action. Here's a pro tip. If you try this experiment at home, make sure that you don't overdo it. The objective is just to get past that initial resistance to do a certain task and not enter from one panic mode to another panic mode. When I took career break due to health issues, I thought the most difficult part would be recovering. And it was. But more than my health, it was recovering from the identity crisis I felt after being unemployed for a while. Seeing my career burn into flames in front of my eyes was not really a very pleasant scenario. But then why did I associate my entire identity with the job was the question. Now psychologists have a name for this feeling of mine. And honestly, I think at this point of time, they have a name for every problem of mine. Anyways, it is called enmeshment trap, where a lot of times our self-worth is attached to our job identity so much that it's hard to get detached from it. If anyone asks you, tell me something about yourself, you'll go rambling about I'm a doctor, engineer, blah, 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 but it will be everything about your job, nothing about you as a person. And that's a problem. AI is going to disrupt a lot of life, careers, and lot of roles. So if you are also somebody like me who associates your identity with your job,
then it might be a good idea to figure out what your identity really is and who you are without that job title. This is me telling you to get rid of that attachment. Reinvention does not start with learning new skills. It starts by letting go of the old thinking, old thoughts, and the older version of you before you are ready to step into the newer version. Like for me, it was to unlearn that I am not my job title, but I am my values, my personality, my habits. That makes me who I am. The belief in the thought that I have the ability to fit in any industry, role, and even create my own career path. That is what we need as AI is changing everything for us. Because your jobs and roles might change, but if you become a person who can adapt to the changing shift, then you'll always stay relevant. Tricking your brain into doing something is one thing, learning new skills is another. But accomplishing all those things when your brain is running on power saving mode is very different.
Unfortunately, we are living in an era of too much information and free information. So I hoard courses, skills, and consume information as if it's a Black Friday sale. But I forget the most important part, that my brain is not ChatGPT. It gets tired, and like AI, I cannot keep 50 tabs open and still trying to remember if I added salt in my dal. And this entire overload makes me feel that everything is urgent. And to be honest, I accomplish nothing. The cognitive overload of hundreds of decisions, on top of that the anxiety of reinventing myself and figuring out if the decision that I have taken, the skills that I have picked are right or wrong, or will I have to detour, or if my career will survive or die, it's too much, exhausting. My brain literally drains out. This situation makes me struggle with everyday decision making. Even small tasks feel impossible. Forget about the entire reinvention. Because reinvention, in my opinion, is not just about learning new strategies, but also figuring out where to focus your energy, what to pick, which skills to learn. And every one of these decisions depletes my energy. I have realized one thing, that if I want to stick with my reinvention plan, the one thing that I have to manage is not my time, but my mental bandwidth and energy. Otherwise, I'll be tired before even I begin. Before we jump into the action mode of new me, new energy, this mindset needs fixing. Step 1, get rid of these blockers first. And that's what I talk about in detail in phase 1 of my series, where we debug our cognitive blockers in terms of our thinking, decision making, and learning. Step 2 is understanding my operating environment, like what exactly is happening around me. AI is not ruining lives equally for everyone. Yes, it is biased just like us humans. As per World Economic Forum report, 39% of the skills in the entire global workforce will be disrupted because of AI and automation. But the sad part is, or the good part is, that it won't be disrupted equally. Some people might have to just learn a few skills and upskill themselves to stay relevant in their job and careers, while for others, they might have to reskill themselves, probably transition in different role within the same organization or industry. And in the third category, people whose job might get completely automated or their industries or roles are shrinking, then they might need a complete career pivot. So before you create your plan, start picking skills and hoard courses, you need to figure out which category do you exactly fall in. For me, my life overlaps between the reskilling and career pivot category. Here's the bird's eye view. AI is not just automating jobs, but it is also changing the way we think, learn, and work, and is impacting our everyday life. A lot of impacts might be common for most of the people, but then when it comes to skills and career, there might be a very specific customized plan that we might need based on how it is impacting our life. That is what the phase 2 is all about, where we talk about understanding the new world we are operating in, the new rules of work, the hidden shifts in skills, value, and visibility. Step 3 is figuring out how to sustain your bank account. A lot of times I see that we miss talking about finances. All the reinvention plans and skilling strategies will be a waste if my bank account is screaming for help. Reskilling, upskilling, career pivots, starting a side hustle, all this sounds very cool on paper. But reality hits when we see that our dreams and the timeline to achieve those and our bank account are not in sync. While reinvention, staying ahead, everything is important, but what is also important is to understand the financial aspect of our lives. How to manage our money, what is the impact that AI would have on our finances, and how to make sure that while we are focusing our energy and time in reinventing ourselves, our bank balance is there to support us in positive way. And this is what I talk about in the third phase, the financial firewall patch.
because it is important to be aware that money stress is real and reinvention requires not only strategy but stability. Finally, the last step. This step generally gets ignored until we burn out. This is our mental strength and ability to adapt to changing futures, stay calm in uncertain times. And that's why the last phase is all about mental resilience, because reinvention is not a one-time process. It is an ongoing event. Despite mental clarity, finances, and perfect plan, still reinvention will fail if we do not have the mental ability to deal with failures, challenges, setbacks, and uncertain times, because that is a part of life. And that's the entire system of our Reinvention 2.0 series, the human software upgrade. So in this series, we fix the bugs, we understand the shift, we stay sane, and we build smart. So with the next episode, we begin our phase 1, which is the brain power update, where we will understand how we can learn, think, and make decisions better in the age of AI. So as AI is getting smarter, we are not getting any dumber. So see you then. Bye-bye.